Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to another brand new video. And you guys do see this on the screen, right? Well, in the screen you're seeing right now is that this is where I'm going to definitely talk about. So, the movie, right? Almost like 1 year ago, like last year, that actually came out of the movies, which was like pretty much June. I think it was like January the 1st that came out the movie. I was like, interesting. So there's a horror version of a mouse, which is known to be the horror version of Mickey Mouse, which I said H, not a W, if people don't get that the right correction, or just a little bit of the switch of the I don't know what. But to the point now, I think with this movie, is I gotta say about the movie is that, well, man, I gotta say that the whole thing actually was pretty good. Which I gotta say about I'm just gonna talk about some parts that might be random, or some parts that probably won't be kind of not boredom at some points. But I did actually catch a few bit of different frame shots by any chance that I could memorize in my head. It didn't have to be from a picture, it just had to be from the mind. So, by any chance, I gotta say about most likely of most of this so far is about a Mickey Mouse, right? Well, it's been a while since I never heard about Mickey Mouse, which for once I never even heard or talked about Mickey Mouse for a long freaking time. Even hell, I probably wasn't very sure if I watched it when I was little or whatever, but by any chance, I kind of say that, well, this kind of did refresh a little bit of somewhat of my memory just to know what was going on. But for this right now, of the horror version right now that I'm recently talking about the movie, well, I think the movie I kind of give it is more of an 8 out of a 10. So, why do I recently give this an 8 out of 10? Well, I think I probably did skip a few parts that were a little bit a bit uncomfortable that I just didn't kind of like watch anyways. By the reason is that, well, every single time when there's a horror movie, exactly when there's always a rule that most people would consider rather follow exactly, is that, yeah, once the killer catches someone in sight, then we probably both know what goes on for that story. So again, we definitely know what that always means. Just never go outside alone, or even go in the forest alone, or even shower alone. Exactly. Like, basically, those are just all horror movie, basically, of bio and basic common sense. Which I don't get why exactly, but I just probably would have said so. But, as I would say by a horror strategist, or pretty much knowing like a survival strategist, is pretty much either a not get killed by a horror killer that comes around and tries to get somebody quick as possible, but there probably is some different outcomes from random and random that comes out of nowhere for surprises, but it probably does happen once in a while. That happens at some points, but you know what I mean. So, I did watch the movie while I was pretty much on my couch. Basically, whenever I was watching the whole thing exactly, which unfortunately I was going to just say is like, you know what, I'm just going to pretend I'm just going to skip the kind of the uncomfortable stuff, which I just don't kind of like simply kind of watching it sometimes. I mean, whatever just gets a little bit at this point, just like, eh, we've already seen how that plays out. Like, bruh, we both know that it's just so stupid. Like, I mean, I was just here to watch like the killing of the movie. I just probably rather enjoy like the kills and stuff. That's probably what I recently like to watch. But unfortunately, like I said, good thing I'm not like survivors or anything, because, bruh, I mean, literally, I mean, at this point, it's just like an all out, just a lose lose situation. I mean, even if it comes from both sides anyway, then it just doesn't matter. But I mean, when it's like my favorite horror killer, then hey, I'm gonna be leaning on the side with the horror killer. But if I'm not, then I probably stay in the middle and just see how all that plays out and watches it until it unfolds, or whatever that plays around with it. But you basically know what I mean. So, all I'm gonna say about this entire movie, about like the pretty much the Mousetrap horror movie about the 2024, well, the movie I think is just pretty good. I think that all of them were pretty good, exactly with the most of the interesting stuff about the movie are pretty interesting. Like, heck, I even did saw Angry Birds exactly, which I did see the arcade of it exactly. I'm like, bruh, I literally played it before when I was like in, whenever I was just having fun while just like trying to see if I could get coins or get tickets or anything, basically on the card or anything. But that's probably what I was trying to get, and for much more. And I did saw laser tag, which I also did say again. I'm pretty good at laser tag. Which, if some people do or don't know, then go ahead and watch my YouTube short. Which, by the way, I actually am that good. So again, don't judge because I actually that very good. So yeah, I probably did said so that I did get bases a few times exactly while I was in the laser tag stuff and just blah blah blah. So that's just all I say for now. But for this point of the case, we're gonna get continuing right back to the point. So back to the point here exactly is that yeah, I probably did see a few bit of interesting things that were going on in the movie, and yeah, the main character exactly was the girl who was pretty much the main character and all that did pretty much physically get shot in the head by an arrow or something like that by Mickey Mouse, which I probably will explain to the third notice at the middle or at the end, but right now, I gotta say that yeah, she did pretty well, okay, in some parts of the entire movie, which she was supposed to kind of like close up the whole place up for a little bit since it was kind of getting dark for no reason. Since of course that yeah, they turned out it was pretty much something until Mickey Mouse himself that actually started to come on out there and just like started going after them. And then I did saw was like a bit of an interesting bar exactly until like Mickey Mouse did found like a few bit of like I don't know, some people in the bar for no reason and just started killing the hell out of them or just probably like beat them up or something, which I don't know what really recently happened. But for now, guys, I'm just making guesses as I go and just physically making guesses because I mean, for me, the old saying goes is that sometimes after when the movie finishes it for like a while and a finished and done, it means that I probably won't like review it again, which I'm not the only one who might review it. But the question is that the movie was just pretty okay at its finest for an 8 out of 10, so I probably am not blaming the movie just because I think the movie's good. Doesn't really mean I just have to give it an 8 out of 10, which probably does remain the fact that it could have done a pretty bit interesting job, which I mean, it still did better. But all I wanted to see was just kind of a bit of the killing at this point and just seeing who probably could outlive Mickey Mouse, which that's probably what I would know. But there were like two kill counts until like one person and one girl, I think, that were two adults exactly that were hiding around in a I don't know, pretty much like in a maze or something, which I don't really even know exactly or even remember whatever the two of them went at this point. But pretty much Mickey Mouse already did like kind of like killed them, I think, just probably did that. And yeah, that's probably what really going on exactly. And just don't worry about the noise. I just had to move my feet exactly, just had to move. So yeah, I just had to move at this point, just had to stretch. But anyways, that was pretty much my play. I just had lunch. So back to the topic. By any chance of the movie is that well, the chance of the movie, I think, well, it's pretty all right. That's what I would say. It's pretty okay. I think it's just like an okay movie that I actually think it's pretty nice, pretty okay. That's all I think how the movie was. Now the question is, how did they definitely beat Mickey Mouse? Well, they probably did physically just beat the Mickey Mouse. I think with a flashlight. I think was like the pretty much the flashlight that bruh. I literally don't like the flash. Like bruh, the freaking flashlights. I mean, with the face with the pretty much with the big flashes, I think, bruh, it pretty much is a pretty bad weakness. I think I just don't kind of like the weakness of it, which yeah, I could have really done something better with the flashing lights better. That it probably almost did got my eyes in a bit of a seizure, which I almost kind of didn't end up like in a seizure, but at least I did cover my eyes for a bit until the seizuring was gone. Because I mean, trust me, I even if I did have glasses right now, I probably would have blocked it and shielded it from it, which I could have done that. But at this point, I just don't have backup at this point, which I don't even have backup to be clear with it. But maybe sometime in the future I might go into a store and actually will get like glasses and just like Like, I'm not saying it's like permanently about getting new glasses. I'm just talking about like the flash glasses. Just talking about like the seizure glasses I'm talking about. So, in this case, all I'm saying here, folks, is that, well, all I can say here is that at least the movie was pretty okay, and I think it was nice. I think it was just like an okay, decent movie that I think it kind of was. I mean, did the movie kind of it should have been better? Yeah, it should have. Which, at this point, I gotta say that, yeah, at least they brought back like another character, like the same Mickey Mouse, exactly, that was on the boat, exactly, that was like Wally, yeah, Wally or something, or whatever. But basically, I think the intro of that one was pretty interesting. I loved the way that was like a boat, that was a mouse on a boat, which, I mean, I kind of didn't notice it before exactly. Like, every single time I always know that, I'm like, very interesting. Very somewhat interesting. Very interesting. So that's all I can say about the movie, and that's all I can physically say. And then, oh yes, as in for like some goth chick, by the way, that was in that was pretty much in jail, I think, by the two investigators. Yeah, that probably made a lot of sense. Which, yeah, pretty much Becca on the point exactly. Which she, on the other hand, probably was in jail, and exactly before the, I don't know, before the killing spree continued to happen, exactly with the rest of the people that were trying to survive against one killer mouse, exactly, that was trying to out trap most of anybody in there, exactly, in the building. Which, yeah, that's pretty much that I can figure out and tell you all about that. But all I gotta say and tell the thorough notice again, that, I mean, the two investigators could have literally would have just listened to the person by telling the whole thing exactly. But no, they just had to be a little bit of few, you know what I'm talking about, like the stupid move exactly by the, pretty much, that they were like dicks exactly, just to continue on, like saying, like interrupting her or something. But I mean, I kind of respect on both sides anyway, exactly at this point, which, I mean, hey, I mean, if she's telling the truth, then let her tell the truth already, because at this point, her friends were just killed like the rest of them were. Like, she could have been the next one too. So, that's pretty much my physic of the point, but yeah, I think it could have worked out a little bit more similar than that. I think it could have worked a little similar to the movie. I think it could have been better just to see that. And no, again, I'm not hating the movie. I'm just not hating it. I'm just saying is that it could have been just like a little bit of like hearing one person just say the corrected answers, which she probably did say a few corrected ones, and then I don't know, like both sides are kind of a little bit on the different off turn for some reason. I just don't get the point of it exactly, but you know what I mean. Now, is there going to ever be a second movie coming out exactly of this year? Yes, it probably is. Like, I did kind of looked up on like on Google anyways, and just looked up by saying, is like, is there going to be a sequel coming around? Well, in this question, yes, it actually is coming around this year. I think it's going to either be around November. I think that's just going to be November or December. I think that's probably what's going to be for this year. Until there's going to be a sequel coming out. I think the sequel, I do hope to say the sequel's better, and just hope that it's actually pretty interesting. But like I said, as long as it actually stays at its right formula and see where like the present continues, or just like the different events that really went previously going on for the first, which it could probably be a little bit more different, but we'll never know what happens. But again, for the second movie, we just may never be so sure about it. But as long as that a few of the people do pretty well, exactly by actors or actresses, do pretty bit interested and do a bit of different, well done stuff, I think that could probably be a bit of an interesting way and an interesting fact how the movie could play out. So we may never know. But anyway, in this case, all I just want to say here is, in this case right now, the point here of the video is that the video is, gotta say right now, of the first movie right now is pretty alright. It's pretty nice. And yeah, and also I'll probably explain about the arrow thing exactly, that he kind of did point it at her head, exactly the behind of her head, until one person had a sword. I think that one person had a sword for a bit just to kill the mouse exactly, like, yeah, that was a little bit kind of a bit of a shocking twist. I'm like, what in the freaking what was that? I'm like, no way. I was like, seriously. I don't know if he either A, snapped her neck, or two, he kind of shot the arrow before in the back of the pipe. I'm like, what? Like, how is there no way is that any craziness that could be more insane? Like, what? That is like so weird. Like, how do you even do that when one person's just dead and then just comes right back and does it right now? I'm like, bruh, that is so much like deja vu. Like, bruh, that is literally deja vu for no reason. Like, bruh, what? Like, that is no way in so many ways that's impossible to do. Like, man, that is impossible. So, anyway, without further ado, without that being said again, folks, is that I am going to consider to get going. And thank you guys very much for your time of this video. And I just definitely kind of wanted this over with the reaction of me talking about the movie. And also, if anybody does actually tell me by saying is like in the comments by saying is like, oh hey, Golden Devin-Foxy remastered or whatever exactly, is that how have you actually watched the movie? Well, in this question, I've considered kind of watching the movie until New Year's started in 2025 that started. That's probably what I was talking about. So yes, frankly and very cleverly that I actually did watch the movie since back all the way back at the 31st of December before it actually started ticking on the New Year's clock exactly of 2025. Which, frankly, yes, I did definitely watch the Mousetrap at that time, which I actually did watch it at that time before fireworks actually started going up. So that's probably what I'd probably say right now is that yes, that's the very most likely a very interesting question. That yes, I did watch it during like the 31st of December, which was pretty much 2024, and then now it switches into 2025, which that's probably what the events carried on for me to watch that movie before it actually happened, which, in some reason, it's some different reason that I think to say that I find it so interesting that I never even did watch the pretty much the Mousetrap movie until 2024. I mean, sure, it did come around in January of 2024, but when it was like near the end of it, which I was probably talking about the month of me watching that movie, then yeah, I actually did watch it, and it was pretty interesting too. By the way, it's pretty interesting. So that's all I just want to talk about. And again, very more likely is that yeah, the character pretty much died by an arrow, I think, by Mickey Mouse himself, and did that. So I don't know why, but it probably just happened. So again, that there, by the way, folks, is pretty nuts. Very nuts. But anyways, without further ado, without that being said again, is that I am Golden Devin-Foxy Master. Please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way, again, you will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. And I did want to say, by the way, is if you guys actually did watch Mousetrap, by the way, of 2024, then trust me, go ahead and watch that movie because I think I kind of give the movie more of an 8 out of 10, which I mean, yeah, the whole thing could have been pretty bit better when I could wanted to see more killing, which it still did happen though, but I probably would have rather expected a little bit more of the survivors' interesting comeback. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a very reversible turn to actually just like defeat the mouse and a few different hits, I think, before it could have not moved again. But yeah, a few of them kind of were a bit weakened, but some of them just didn't die. Had few exactly, which I can't guess many people that died, but I only just guessed that two people were dying exactly at some point, but a few others still lived and a few others didn't, which I probably think it's more of a guessing game than just like saying about like the actual ones that actually go on with the actual numbers. But further notice again is I want to wish you guys a very much likely to very much enjoy the video. And now, that's all I just want to say. That's all I just want to go on and just say is that the movie of the Mousetrap movie is pretty okay. It's pretty nice, well done, and very good movie. And I mean, am I gonna watch it when it actually comes out of like this year of November? Absolutely, probably. Like when I said probably, I think I'll say that yes, I probably am going to consider and just assume that I hope to say that if the second movie makes a very good, interesting way around it, I probably would love to want to see the second movie of a sequel by seeing whoever does come back to return, which I know it's going to be like it's gonna be Mickey and the other person's character. I think it was probably like another female mouse that might come around to join Mickey. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting. Like holy crap! Like I don't get why that some of the cartoon like comes to horror versions of themselves. Like, good God, we're gonna be seeing that happening in the near future, or even hell, might even see more in the present. But like I said, it's just horror version, not like most likely two collaborations that might go along with it. But hey, at least I know about collaborations by most of means necessarily. That goes on from the considered cartoon version to cartoon horror exactly. That's all I can probably guess. But for now, that's insane. Even in the real world of the movie, that's nuts. I could probably tell it and guess it why, but even hell, even Pooh the bear actually becomes one. Like, good God. Like, I don't know why, but no, I have not talked about the movie of that yet, which I probably should have probably take a look at it, but for me, it's just going to be a while to guess up the numbers, but hey, I don't know if I might talk about that sooner or later, but again, I probably don't know, but it's just gonna probably may or won't happen if me talk about that other movie about Winnie the Pooh horror version of that bear, exactly that yellow bear of it. So no, we'll see. I don't know. But like I said, it just happens in different possibilities. But for now, about me talking about like the horror version of Mickey Mouse, bruh, that's creepy. I mean, very creepy. Like very and absolutely creepy. Like of course, I know the character who does actually kind of similar kind of play as Mickey Mouse was pretty much Simon Phillips. Yeah, he played as Mickey slash the manager. Bruh, that is insane. Like, how can a manager? I mean, seriously, let me just tell you, how can a manager become a horror character that is a mouse? Like, how? That is like so weird. Like, how can a manager actually kill its own people in the freaking place? Like, that makes no sense. Like, that seriously makes no sense. Like, at least good thing I'm not losing many brain cells, as I could probably get that a little bit of the not too much information part on the TMI. But come on, how can a manager become a killer? That makes complete zero sense. Like, it's a little bit of a flip. That really makes complete zero sense to have that idea. Like, what does the manager really want to do with the people in there? Like, come on, what did the manager not like them to do? Like, that really makes complete zero sense. Which, I mean, there could have been a more of a physical explanation, but no, it has to be a manager or probably be somebody that might unfortunately just wants them out of their place. Like, come on. Like, how freaking weird is that? Which I don't get that, but that's just a little bit cuckoo. Like, I'd be hearing from cuckoo clocks. But for now, though, I gotta say this again is thank you guys for watching. And oh, by the way, after when I did see a comment, by the way, basically on my last video, that I did took a look on the comment. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a look at the comment. So the comment by the person said was use OBS. Well, to tell you the truth, man, that I probably am gonna like respond to the comment and just, respond nicely to the comment and just go on and just be nice, since I again am saying that I'm just gonna prefer to be a bit nicer and just go on with the comment. And then pretty much. So let me go ahead and explain the question. So, about OBS. Well, OBS, by the way, is kind of okay, but for me, I just really don't know if I might be using that, which I don't really know if I might use it, but the question is that nah, I have not used it. I mean, I've only kind of used Screencastify for the first time. Let me just explain that to the person in my last video that I've reacted to, which I probably am explaining right now exactly as this question is that, okay, so to the people, if anybody does or doesn't know exactly about how I pretty much like make YouTube videos or recording first on, I pretty much use Screencastify. Like, I only use Screencastify from the beginning while I make my content from the very beginning, which I did use that before, which it probably did work a few times in a few bit of successful ways it worked, but so far it just only had to tell me by saying it's like, ooh, you're pretty much almost out of like almost a percent of near recording by saying it's like 10 or 10. Like, it really doesn't make sense when it could actually just go for full. Like, it makes zero sense and just literally makes zero. And then the only question about when I'm using like, I'm just using pretty much Vidvine, yeah, pretty much Vidvine. So okay. So Vidvine, by the way, I actually am pretty much using right now that I'm actually am using that exactly for like, I don't know, when it's like pretty much camera videos or something like that, I probably can simply either use it for gaming videos or just like simply use it for like big screen and pretty much either with like, with this tab or camera, I probably do use that exactly in full general and very much likely the way I'm using it is that, yeah, I did pretty well and very much likely a very great time to use it. So I probably do say this again fairly that yes, again, I definitely use that and I pretty much use that for recording and gameplay and other stuff. Now, about about OBS, well, I'll actually say this again. I actually will take a look on that site and actually will kind of be generous with the person acts exactly, which I probably am wanting to probably like just give myself about the time and just see what I actually will know what it's about exactly, which I probably did know a friend that actually uses that recording, which I don't know exactly. I mean, I kind of did remember way back then about a little bit about the OBS, which I kind of don't know how to use it exactly, which I'm just kind of aware that I just want to see if it's free. I mean, I could probably only do it for free, but when it's only about pay, hell nah, I'm not paying. I mean, seriously, I mean, that's pretty much my only way I could explain it exactly further, just to explain it, is that I can't probably be paying money for the video exactly for paying like the actual like the site of the recording exactly and just do so, which I just can't probably do that because I mean for once I prefer free. I kind of prefer like having like 0 0. I prefer having it for free, and that's probably what I would want to have it at in the bargain. So yeah, that's just my only sense to kind of make that of an explanation. But, that's just all I want to talk about and just explain to the person, even though I might respond at the end of the video, which that's probably what I'll do. So for now, that's all I want to say. And then, okay. And he did also mention about me having like a bit of like, I don't know, I just had a bit of like pretty much like the teeth exactly of my teeth I think were just either like orange or whatever exactly because okay, the question is, by the way, that hey, I mean for my question I'll probably explain further is about like what did I had a bit of like not clean teeth exactly is that well, okay, here's my explanation. All right, so listen, for what I'm saying here, by the way, is just because that well, if my teeth are never kind of actually a little bit good, it's just because that well, for me, I think I just only had orange juice because I kind of drink orange juice naturally because it only happens when I actually drink that for almost like breakfast or whatever. I actually just drink orange juice because I mean there's nothing wrong about drinking orange juice because I mean again I just don't know how to explain it to you, by the way, which I probably just can't explain it further about that question. But at least I'm just trying to be a little bit respectful. That's all I'm actually am trying to be a little bit is be respectful and just kind of make a bit of a interesting remark and just say is that I actually am not against the person. I'm just saying is that I'm actually being freely exactly just to talk exactly and just kind of explain the short term exactly that I probably say that I just only drink orange juice. That's all I'm saying is I just drink orange juice. That was it. So yeah, I probably am not mentioning the name anyway, which I probably am not because I kind of prefer staying away. So whatever. No and no and no. But anyways, let me go right ahead and explain with everything else before we wrap this up exactly. So here we go. So anyways, everybody, without further ado, without that being said, is that thank you guys for your time, and thank you guys for considered enjoying your guys' time and enjoy the video. But anyway, all I'm gonna say is that I'm gonna end the video and just probably end the video at some point and just probably end it. So without further ado, without that being said, guys, is thank you guys for your time, and also gotta say is that well, I did come to mind exactly and think of the idea and make the video and just clearly make this video and just say is that well, yeah, I was kind of going about to like either A, do more reaction videos, or B, or just make like a a simple video and just kind of talk about it exactly and just go on and speak exactly about the movie. But whatever, I actually just felt free to kind of decide was like, you know what, I would kind of go ahead and just talk about the movie and just see how awesome this was and just see how okay it was. But for me, I think this was just a bit of an interesting video. Like, no doubt exactly, like, just an interesting video, but no doubt at all. But anyway, that's all I just want to do, and that's just why I want to end the video. And yes, clearly, after when I did saw the fireworks outside, I actually did look outside and just saw the fireworks after the movie was done and finished in the credits until I was going to actually just like kind of feel a bit bored and just watch something else like Cartoon Network and stuff or Nickelodeon. But that's probably what I was going to do, or either watch other shows or whatever that I was going to be watching, whatever the movie was over. But after when it was finished, I kind of had a lot of similar questions until someone actually returns again for the second sequel, which again I'm not that sure if it's gonna kind of actually make a return of itself to come back. But again, there could be different outcomes to expect that some of them will return and some others, well, they're gonna just stay a little bit hidden for a bit until something actually does happen for the second sequel. Pretty much from either their actors, characters, and other stuff, and all other stuff, and pretty much other cameos. Which I think probably that they should do a cameo exactly just for something. I think I'm not sure if they could do a cameo for anything, but for once we may never know, and for once we just may know exactly because I mean, hey, I'm kind of more into a Nickelodeon person myself, not a Disney person. I mean, again, I kind of prefer SpongeBob over than Mickey Mouse at this point, but I mean, I could definitely reverse the opinion if that probably would be that necessarily, but hey, I'm still, again, am keeping that word anyway and just not taking the word back away exactly, which I still kind of prefer Nickelodeon than Disney at this point. I mean, Disney's okay at its finest, but when I say Nickelodeon's just better, I mean, it's just better. So that's all I can say about it. But for now, guys, once again, though, is that I'm going to get going and I'm definitely going to sign right off and just say is that the movie is an 8 out of 10 and definitely, hopefully, that there could be some answers soon, whenever it's like November or December for the next sequel to happen soon. But, we're going to have to wait for a long, long, long time until it's actually in the fall or near winter again. But all I gotta say, we're gonna find out and see what happens for whatever's gonna go on. But anyway, hope you guys do kind of enjoy this video for much of like an entertaining reaction of me talking about like how the movie was good, or just give the video a bit of like an 8 out of 10, or just simply just for the movie itself, it's just an 8 out of 10, which I just think two things I just didn't simply like anyway was just either again just the seizure exactly, which was another point I didn't like anyway, which oh trust me, when there's bright lights exactly that flashes my face in the eye exactly, or pretty much in the eyes, it just literally freaking stings. I mean, at least I wasn't complaining too much exactly because I mean, at least I didn't kind of screamed off exactly a little bit by saying like, my freaking eyes, ah, like, bruh. I probably am saying again, I just don't like the lights being too flash because I just have a seizure problem. That's all. I just have a seizure thing that probably affects my eyeballs directly. That just stings a lot differently, but when it was just like too much, it just probably goes out too much. But whatever. And then, as in for the other part, I probably am not going to like say the you know what exactly because I mean seriously, it's just yeah, I probably don't want to ask. I mean, I just don't want to probably ask the other question, which it's probably referred to the S word exactly. That I probably don't want to say anything because, again, it's just pretty uncomfortable to say it. Because even hell, I'd probably say it's just that, bruh, where's the killing? I mean, there literally has to be killing at this point. Like, it's not about like, oh, it has to be a makeout until somebody's confused or like confused or whatever more. Like, that makes no sense. Like, come on, where's the killing at? Or at this point, stay with the rest of the group and then go somewhere else anyway, off recording. Like, again, that absolutely makes no sense. But whatever though, I mean, the old saying is that, again, find out or F out, or should I say at this point, or the case by some people by saying is like F around and go find out and F around and find out for more, I guess. But whatever. At least I was trying to get some point word right, but that's just what I could probably make the point of it too. But anyways, Golden Devin-Foxy Remastered is going to see you guys again next time, and see you guys later for the next video. And hopefully you guys actually did enjoy it for the video exactly, and enjoyed my talk of it exactly, of why Mousetrap was actually a bit of an interesting movie. It was just pretty interesting, but at least something came to mind about like Mickey Mouse and all, but it just came to mind exactly about that. So without further ado, I hope that they actually do decide to make the second sequel and just see if they actually will do it. But for me, we're just going to find out, and we're just going to see what goes on and what happens to find out. But trust me, there's even going to be a lot of movies coming around. Hell, there's even going to be more numbers coming around for a lot of years. Like, good God, that's going to be crazy. I mean, it's going to be one hell of a roller coaster, so we might as well hope to enjoy the roller coaster. So, whatever. But anyways, without that said, again, I'll see you guys next time. Peace on out, and we'll see you for the next video. Bye bye, everybody. Take care, sign out, and goodbye. And I actually am going to see you guys again next time. And with that being said, see you guys next time. And oh yes, by any chance again, I do have WWE 2K22, which I definitely have the game. So I pretty much have that on my Xbox, which I also was practicing the game. And trust me, I actually am doing pretty good just to practice, which it's pretty dang good. Even hell for the Royal Rumble match, bruh, it's nuts. I love that. I mean, I really love that stuff. Like, bruh, that's pretty interesting. Like 8 people you could put only in the ring is nuts, and very interesting, ironic take, and very good take anyway. I kind of say that's awesome, and a very awesome mode to play, which it's pretty dang cool. And I also did add myself exactly as a superstar, which I did actually am kind of working on with it exactly, which again I can't probably like immediately just kind of like screenshot it or something like that, because at this point it's just going to be a while for me to like kind of like make the superstar and just see how I will do it. But that's going to be a very somewhat of an interesting thing I'll do. But for now, anyways, I'm going to get going, and thank you guys very much for enjoying this video. And like always, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember the 4 things you guys got to do is like, comment, and subscribe to the bell to be notified. And also, if you guys are a true Devin-Foxy fan and a real fan that enjoys my content, then go ahead and definitely subscribe. And whoever's a fake, leave and watch another video. But anyways, without further ado, and without that being said, I'm going to get going for y'all, and I will get going. So take time and take care, everyone, and have a very great day. And I'll see you guys again for the next reaction video, or maybe another appearance of another YouTube short, but we'll see. And I do hope that there might be another K views again, which I hope there might be another K view exactly for the third YouTube short, or this one might be the third time I might get another YouTube short that I might probably be making. But at this point, I don't know. It's either going to be like me doing something, but we'll see at this time. We'll just see. But thank you guys for the time, and thank you guys for the pleasure of the time just to enjoy this video while I kind of talk about like the Mousetrap movie of 2024, which simply, like I said again, that pretty much the event when I watched the movie, it was back at like December 31st of 2024 before it actually became New Year's of 2025. So that's probably what was going on, and that's why I probably watched the whole thing until it was finished. And yes, I did skip a few parts so that way I just wanted to see the action stuff. I mean, I'm always into action ones, very much interesting ones. But I mean, if there's something interesting I probably will or won't skip, then that's probably what I would do. But for now, as long as it's not too uncomfortable, then that's just when I might skip it or won't. But you may never know, but when there's going to be like a little small detail catch or a little bit or something, then that's probably when I might have to just like use the remote and skip it and get to the killing part and just love to see the action of it. But whatever. I mean, it's just me and me exactly. It's just me. going on to talk about it. But thank you guys for your time and very much enjoyment of the video. But for real now, remember, like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be absolutely get notified. Thank you. Anyways, I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace on out and goodbye, everyone. Take care and see you next time. See you later, guys, and bye bye. See you in the next video. Signing on out. Later and goodbye.